Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at that most recent price action and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into the video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button, I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not consider subscribing? Tapping the bell and selecting all the notifications will enable you not to miss another video update. And of course you can always unsubscribe later. If you haven't joined us in Discord, guys, you're missing a trick. Check it out, linked in the description below. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Let's jump right down into this one. Try to keep it nice and brief and to the point this morning here for Bitcoin. Some interesting things and developments that have occurred. So let's just jump straight into this one. Obviously, following on from the thumbnails and the videos that we've been doing on the channel, just so you're aware that yeah, we're kind of following plan here at the moment. Nothing has deviated away. So if you haven't fully kept up to date with all of the videos that we've been doing, essentially we've been talking about this nested structured move to the downside and some key levels to get hit. So for example, yesterday we were looking to see if Bitcoin could hold a key area. It couldn't. It came down, hit that low point, and then pushed back up again. And we're at an interesting point where we are right now. So we're going to jump into what that looks like, what that might mean for Bitcoin and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so everything's just kind of moving along quite nicely. So let's start off with the Elliott wave theory side of things and then progress into the smart money from there. Okay, so we've got some interesting structures that are in here, and we need to try our best to make sure that we kind of follow what the data suggests to us and what numbers and things that we need to be hitting. For the most part, we can see that we have another run down here, pushed up, fell back down, hit the target, pushed back up again, looking to come back down towards our 1.618 at 25,540. Okay, so for the most part, we have a very interesting structure within here. Some crazy wicks in places, which actually make Elliott wave theory very, very difficult to kind of get a good read and a good bead on exactly what is going on. We did come up slightly higher than our 38.2% retracement, although that is based on this existing low and not the one down here. So we'll go ahead and measure that out now. And I'll actually just move that over there for a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and just focus in down here. We can see that we took out this 1.618. And yeah, so basically what we've gone and done here is we have what I believe to be a very interesting three-wave structure right in here. So let me go ahead and, where is it? Fibs. We're going to measure this here to here. And I'm going to snap this to the bottom here. You can see that we actually came up slightly higher than 38.2. Actually, 38.2 was right there, and then we come down. So actually, that's actually not too bad. Looking at it, I think we've actually done a pretty good job. It hasn't quite hit the 38.2 for the right structures, so it's interesting. But we are in a pretty good spot. So I'm not too fussed about that. It's a little short on one and overextended on the other. This to me looks like a way forward. We're still looking for one more move to the downside here. That should hopefully finish off our structure and it would put us right here. Okay, so you can see that 1.618 coincides with our 1.236, and we'll basically be looking for this as our next little wave 5 for our nested structure. This is a complicated structure because it is basically looking at 5 waves within 5 waves within 5 waves within 5 waves, and each of those 5 waves have the 53535s occurring in them, and so it's looking really, really choppy, looking really awful. But actually, when you start nesting it inside, it makes a lot of logical sense. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how this one plays out. Are we going to get the invalidations? Is Bitcoin going to hold anything, or is it going to get rejected and push us down? So we're looking at 25,112 to 25,542. That there is going to basically be our next 5 wave or 5th wave expectations to the downside. That's going to hit our 1.618 of a bigger structure. Okay, so let me see if I can draw this up so that we can make sense of it. And I'm going to remove that one off there. And in fact, we don't need this one, so I'm going to remove that now. And we can see that we've got all of these 1.618s. Okay, so we can see that we've hit the first 2. So let's go ahead and start working out where all of these structures are. So we have this 5 wave right here. Okay, and we're going to push this one over to here and put it right on top of there. This is this one right here. Yeah, that's that one there. So this is basically where we've hit this area here. Okay, so we've already taken out that 1.618 target. So that one's already it gone impulsive as far as we can see there. Okay, the next one is this one just in here. If I take this, measure this one here, push this over to our bounce right here. That's this one that we just taken out. Okay, so that's basically wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 down here, wave 4, and we're looking for the 5th wave. Okay, so let me draw that in so you can see. That is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for there. And that takes us into that one. And that's already gone impulsive on our slightly higher structure, which is a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. So when we do this, this is going to confirm wave 3, although we've already passed our 1.618 on this one. Down, and then we'll come down a little bit deeper. And then we have this 1.618 here as well. And that should be, I think this one over this side. But we'll check that in a second. In fact, I don't even need that one anymore, which is fine. So we'll now check the next one, which is this one over here. And this is why I'm saying like it's a neat structure, but it is quite complicated because it is all nesting down together. So that's the 1.618. It's also going to get hit when we do the wave 3, so I'm not too concerned about that. So that one's looking pretty easy to do in comparison to the others, which will then bring us into another wave 4, wave 5, like that. And then you can start to see that we're getting this real big structure appearing. And then the next one, this one down here, is this one. So we're going to end up with the 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Taking us down deeper. Okay, and we end up with this, what looks like a really complex structure, but if you break it down, it's actually not too bad. Now, some of that's confirmed, some of it's not confirmed, but if we go ahead and finish those structures off, we'll start to actually see them all kind of coming together quite nicely. So for now, what we're doing is we're just focusing in on this one that's going to come down here. I don't like this structure massively. It's not like it's fantastic. To me, it looks like we just did an overextension within the 5th wave movement to get that big move on the wave 3 there. And then it's mainly just driven from this annoying area just at the top there. But nonetheless, we can see that here. We finished the structure off. We pushed up into this wave 4. We're coming down into the wave 5, or we're looking to come down into the wave 5. So all in all, Elliott wave theory is looking pretty progressive here. Now, we are getting rejected on that 50 EMA. Okay, so again, nothing terribly too unusual about that. You see people reacting to price movement. Now, we're just coming down out of this oversold area on our hourly, and we've got some progression to the downside, and our 4 hourly is also up in that overbought area. So over the weekend, we could see some interesting things occurring. Now, 5 wave movements, like this 5th wave movement, I should say, can be a few different structures. Okay, so we can have an impulsive structure, which should be nice and easy and neat, and we come down into our target range, and that's okay. Then there are things like an ending diagonal, which would basically be an overlapping wave 4 and wave 1 structure, but wave 3 will still be 1.618. Then we'll have the possibility of doing a expanding diagonal, and that one would be potentially overextending out. And then you have your contracting diagonal, okay, which will be basically a smaller contracting movement. Okay, so wave 1 would be the largest, wave 5 would be the smallest, that kind of thing. And that one might actually not reach our target range. Okay, so there's a few different options, and considering we're in the weekend and usually slow and low volume, it's going to be interesting to see how that 5th wave plays out. Invalidation of the 5th wave is actually reasonably high. That is set way up here. If I can snap it to the right wick, there we go, at 28,300. So unless price hits that level, we're not going to break this structure. If we do go up higher than there, then we're going to break the structure and we can kind of knock this one on the head for where it is, at least in hitting this one under this structure. And I just have to reassess where we actually sit within those nested movements. As I said, it can be reasonably complex. But yeah, for the most part, Elliott wave theory is basically suggesting that we have to go down a little bit further. Smart money concepts. So smart money concepts is still in a bearish state of play on this hourly chart. It has been for quite some time. We had a change of character from bullish to bearish over here in April. Then we broke the structure or got a continuation of our bearish structure, another continuation of bearish structure, another continuation of bearish structure, and then we come down here and we are still pushing down. Okay, so we're getting rejected on the 50 EMA. We can see that the 200 EMA is actually aligned to our 27,666 right in here, just below the equilibrium. To be fair, this one now is It's not really necessary. I mean, if I put that up into this one, we can now see that actually, yeah, 28,300 is going to be the invalidation. We've got the 200 EMA and the equilibrium and a swing high that's potentially going to prevent that from occurring. So that's going to be a pretty difficult area for Bitcoin's price to kind of push on through at this point in time. But we'll see how that kind of plays out over the weekend as to whether or not we can do that. If we break the low, then obviously that's going to still mean that we are moving in that downward direction. We do have a strong high, unlikely to get that broken. We have a weak low, likely to get that broken. 50 EMA is our resistance, with 200 and equilibrium a little bit higher. I expect that we will go up to those points, but not until we complete our structures. Otherwise, I think, yeah, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the structure that sits there at the moment. So yes, we can go up. I just expect us to have that movement down first before we do actually rally on up. A relief rally, I think, is due. Trying to time that, though, it's just simply a case of waiting and being patient and waiting for structures to kind of play out and waiting for the emotions of retail investors to settle down a little bit. And once you see those things, then we're going to be in a better position to see a bit of a run and a bit of a rally to the upside. But I would not expect us to breach the $31,000 high. I think that would be set in stone if we do complete these structures as the local high, and we'll just be looking at pulling ourselves down quite heavily afterwards. So interesting times ahead for Bitcoin and all that wonderful stuff. Is there anything else on smart money concepts that's important that's worth pulling out right now? We've got the fair value gap down here, the imbalance in the order book, so you can see the price was pushed upwards trying to grab liquidity, but ultimately nothing major going on there. I expect price to come down, as I said previously anyway. So all in all, no, nothing else to really kind of talk about. I think I'm going to leave the video right there. If you found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be able to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out, linked in the description down below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day. We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.